Well, this is Matchday Live on Talksport with Just Eat, because a feast of football requires a feast of a takeaway. Well, here at Cardiff City Stadium, it hosts a curious encounter today, but they're really going for it. They just had a pretty massive light display. They were pumping Fatboy Slim out the stadium speakers. It was a little bit like a disco. Ole returns to his old club Cardiff with his even older club Manchester United. And he might not recognise it here. In 2014, Cardiff played in red, and they've built a new stand since, and they're a new team under Neil Warnock. The away fans, just a moment ago, were singing Ole's name. Can he make the jigsaw pieces fit again? Or can Neil Warnock give this Cardiff faithful the best Christmas present of them all? And while we're on the subject, allow me to present two Christmas gifts, especially for you, neatly wrapped with a bow on top. It's a seasonal Stuart Pearce and a cinnamon sprinkled Sam Mattervade, as if he wasn't sweet enough. Your commentary team for Cardiff versus Manchester United.
Ho, ho, ho.
Which one do you reckon's wearing the bow?
It's got to be you, big man.
There's only one winner there. Thank you, Laura. Well, what would we do without the Norwegians at Christmas? They gave us the Norwegian spruce, the Christmas tree that doesn't drop its needles. Now they've loaned Manchester United Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to ensure they don't fall any further from grace. With a slab of chocolate and a flashing smile, the former Cardiff manager has brought the Christmas spirit back to Manchester United with a promise of flair. Ole, chocolate, smiles and the beautiful game. In these most troubled of times, the United fans at least will hope the Norway Plus option can at least keep them in the European places. They will back him to the hilt, but Ole Gunnar was relegated here and the Bluebirds will remind him of it. Christmas is covered tomorrow on Talksport 2, Aston Villa against Leeds, followed by Everton against Spurs on Talksport at 4. But first, Manchester United have their lowest points at this stage since 1990, so they bought in Solskjaer. 20 seasons ago, he famously was called upon in an emergency, coming off the bench to deliver glory for Manchester United. Can he save them again? His first outing as United boss is only on Talksport. Cardiff in royal blue, shooting from left to right. Manchester United in red shirts which fade into black. That doesn't really work with the white shorts, but they're wearing it today anyway. Attacking the goal away to our left. Our referee's Michael Oliver. His last visit here ended in a 5-0 win for the other team from Manchester. Aaron Gunnarsson has won a throw on this near side. He always launches them long into the box. He's done that now, and it's flicked away by Jones and out towards the near side and Luke Shaw. I'll run through the 2-11s for you in just a second, but Manchester United already on the counter-attack here. The ball immediately popped up by Martial, looking for Lingard, and it's out on this near side and away for a throw. It'll be fascinating, Stuart Pearce, to see the philosophy employed by the new Manchester United manager.
I think we've had a vision of that a minute ago. Cardiff having a long throw just in front of us here, and the United three strikers took an eternity to get back. I think they've almost been told, let's play cat and mouse. If we can leave you three up the pitch in Martial, Rashford and Lingard, all well and good.
Here is Matic. I'll go through the 11 momentarily. Martial, who's playing on the left of the three, with Rashford through the centre. Infield to Matic and then back out towards Pogba once again. Lingard's made a run in behind the defence. Morrison comes across and gets there ahead of Jesse Lingard. Sean Morrison, one of those who was signed by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when he was at Cardiff City. The ball comes back into the Manchester United midfield. Just left of the centre is Shaw, then Rashford, and then back to Matic. They switch it out to Herrera. Herrera now looking up and finding Lingard. Manchester United with a lot of movement in the early stages, finding Pogba now, edge of the penalty area, tries to play a 1-2 on the edge of the box, gets fouled by Victor Camarasa, and it's a free kick just 6 yards back from the edge of the D. So Manchester United with De Gea in goal, Young, Jones, Lindelof and Shaw the back four, Matic and Herrera holding in midfield with Pogba a little bit more advanced, Lingard and Martial flanking Rashford. Etheridge is the goalkeeper for Cardiff, Iquel Manga the right back, Morrison, Bamber and Cunningham making up the back four, then Hoylett, Camarasa, Arter and Murphy supporting Patterson as the lone striker.
Yeah, I think it's important, Sam, today that Cardiff don't offer United too much respect. I think that's exactly what they want, get a feel of the ball, United, and under new, obviously, tenureship of Ole, they want to pass it around, but great opportunity here to hit the target.
Pogba and Rashford standing over this free kick. It's just a shade left of centre. Pogba back in the team, runs over the ball, leaves it for Rashford, through the wall it goes, and into the net, and 2 minutes and 59 seconds into Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's reign, a young Manchester United striker has scored already. Marcus Rashford gets the Norwegians' tenure off to a flyer with a superb free kick from distance. It dipped and swerved in the air, it went past everyone in blue, and Neil Etheridge could just stand there and watch it fly past him into the net. It's Cardiff 0, Manchester United 1.
Yeah, I've got to look at the goalkeeper there. He's edging to his right to cover the one over the top of the wall, and all that Rashford's done is hit it. He's opened his foot and hit it on the open side. And I sit in stadiums week after week after week and say, just hit the open side. The goalie's done your work for you there.
It's not a bad start, that, is it?
It's a great start for the manager, the new. And when I say that as well, I mean Mickey Phelan involved in that as well. He'll be a big asset to Ole Gunnar, I think.
Let's go down to the touchline. Lawrence Moore is sitting behind Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tonight. How did he react?
Oh, huge celebration, Sam. Every single member of the Manchester United bench was off their seat, celebrating on the touchline with that Rashford goal. What a start to his tenure.
4 minutes in, you're listening to Talksport. Cardiff 0, Manchester United 1. The ball is on the near touchline and Cardiff trying to come forward. Cut out by Matic, picked up by Pogba, onto Rashford. Remember, Pogba out in the cold under Jose Mourinho. He was the man who won the free kick with a little 1-2 with Lingard on the edge of the area, and it was scored by Rashford, who actually played in more games for Jose Mourinho than anybody else in the United team. There's a bit of pushing going on over on the far side, and Murphy just dragged back Ashley Young, and a free kick has been given deep inside their own territory to Manchester United. Manchester United lead away in South Wales.
Yeah, it's a well-placed free kick.
Brilliant.
The goalkeeper does his job and stays and covers the corner of the goal that he should be covering. He should deal with that.
It's a great routine, because what they've done is they've put Matic into the wall. Pogba's run up to it, and as he's gone over the top of the ball and left it for Rashford, Matic has moved to a side, left the gap, and that's the gap which Rashford has driven the ball through and into the net. And it's 1-0. I think you're right, the goalkeeper's going to be disappointed with that.
Well, he's got to. He's read that the ball's going over the top of the wall, and sadly for him it didn't. But what a great start for United. Just what they needed to settle them down, calm the nerves down if there were any going into this one.
Well, we thought Cardiff might be obstinate opponents, but they've given an early gift to Manchester United. Now they've given the ball away on halfway. Lingard out to Martial, back into Lingard. It comes back to halfway, only being half cleared by Cardiff City, and Manchester United leading by a goal to nil. Lose the ball. Arter picks it up, switches it to the left side. Murphy runs at Ashley Young. He's still going as he moves up towards the left edge of the penalty area. Across comes Herrera, intervenes and manages to clear, but it's picked up by Cunningham, and then infield to the Icelander, the Viking, Gunnarsson. Forward on towards the edge of the area where Camarassa's trying to turn. Gunnarsson is fouled by Lingard. Free kick to Cardiff, about 7 yards back from the edge of the D on the right side.
Yeah, I think United's tactic is their level best to leave three players, their three most advanced players up the pitch when they're defending if they can, and that'll put some onus really on the other seven to make sure they defend their goal well enough for a team that has been shipping goals. And I think at this stage that clean sheet will be invaluable for Ole.
Well, Manchester United haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 8 on the road. The defence has been a big area of weakness for them. They've already conceded more goals than they did last season, and more than they have at this stage of a season at any time in the last 56 years.
That's quite an horrific stat, isn't it, for United? And that's between now and next summer, that's something that they're going to have to turn round.
Jones and Lindelof employed today at centre half. They've got a free kick to defend here. Everyone in red is back behind the ball as Murphy addresses it, chips it goalwards, tries to swirl it, it's too high, and goes over the top of the crossbar by at least 2 or 3 yards. Cardiff 0, Manchester United 1 on Talksport. We played 7.5 minutes. Marcus Rashford with his 5th goal of the season. It's his 3rd goal in his last 4 matches.
I think this scenario could suit United fantastically well. Rashford, Lingard and Martial all ready for the counter-attack.
Well, Neil Warnock is certainly not happy inside the technical area away to our left. He is standing with his hands rammed into his pockets as the ball is cleared by De Gea, and Ekumanga heads the ball over the halfway line. Patterson is chasing with Jones. It's a weird situation for him, isn't it, Patterson? I mean, he's scored 4 goals this season. He's a forward for Cardiff and a right back for Alex McLeish in Scotland. Yeah. He did say, I think, after his last game for Scotland at right back, it's not my favourite position. I think he enjoys playing a bit further forward now.
There's not as much glory back there, I can assure you. That's why I used to get forward a lot.
That's why you wanted to take those free kicks and pens, wasn't it?
Taste a bit of that glory.
Here is Morrison guiding the ball back to Etheridge in bright orange. He kicks the ball over halfway. It's brought down by Lindelof, and then all the way back through to Jones, who guides it back to his goalkeeper. 9 minutes gone. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said he would give United a freedom, take the handbrake off. And it's not as if their away games are that dull, really. In their 9 road trips this season, they have produced 33 goals, but that's at both ends, which is probably why they're in the predicament that they are in. Here's Shaw across to Pogba. Pogba trying to turn, and he gets away from Gunnarsson and swirls the ball into the night sky. It's headed up and away by Murphy over on the far side. Josh Murphy chasing after it, but Young gets there first. Herrera comes back, dabs it back to Young, and Manchester United play their way out of trouble. Now, what the key thing is now for Manchester United, having established this lead, is not obviously not to surrender it, but to go on and build on it. And Jones almost surrendering possession deep inside his own territory. Matic is across quickly. There just seems to be a bit more zip about Manchester United. Even when they've lost the ball there, they've all recovered it very quickly.
Yeah, you're spot on. There is a better zip about them. They're knocking the ball around. They're concise with their passing. It's player move. It's looking very assured. In fact, it's probably, I know it's early stages at the moment, but much more alert, if you like.
Swansea leading the other game, which kicked off and is live now over on Talksport 2. It's Hull City 0, Swansea City 1. That game kicked off at 5:30. Talksport 2's got live commentary of that right now, and you can download our app, which we can give you access to that on the iOS or the Google Play Store. Here is Matic in centre field for Manchester United, who are leading away at Swansea's big rivals Cardiff. Up to halfway, just with his back to goal is Martial, wearing a short sleeve shirt and gloves. Further wide it goes to Pogba, who's moved out into the wing position. Back to Martial, he's running at the defence now, goes past Ekumanga, gets to the byline. Can he produce the cross? He can, but it's blocked before it can get beyond Ekumanga, and goes out for the first corner of the game to Manchester United.
I think it's important that Rashford, who is playing centre forward today, stays as high as he can and looks to run in as much as he can. I think if you only got to look at the way probably Liverpool and Salah played that on Friday evening, every time Liverpool pick the ball over, they're looking to thread it in behind to Salah with those great runs. United can't fall into the trap of passing for passing's sake.
That has been something they've been criticised for. Here's Young on this near side to take this corner kick. There's 5 to aim at in the centre. He aims it towards Pogba. It's headed away though. There's a big strong header away by Sol Bamba, but Manchester United win it back midway inside Cardiff territory. They switch it to the right. This is on to Herrera, down towards Pogba, but Cunningham read that, intercepted, and it's back with Cardiff City, who trail by 1-0 to that free kick from Marcus Rashford, getting the Solskjaer reign off to the perfect start inside 3 minutes.
I think when you take over any football club afresh, you want a good start, something that brings the fans to the party. I think United fans have been fantastic this season, through some trying times, I must say, but I think they've been
good move by Murphy down the left-hand side to outpace Young. He just did a little bit of trickery just to take it out of the grasp of Ashley Young. Went down the left, produced the cross, and standing there to block it was Phil Jones, and he hoists it out for a throw-in over on the far side, which Gunnarsson will now try and take, and he'll try and catapult it in towards Morrison or Bamba, who are both lurking with intent in and around the 6-yard box. Here comes Gunnarsson, and it's launched towards Morrison, who can't get his head on it. It's away by Jones. It might go out for a corner. No, Gunnarsson keeps it in. Then it's whipped in by Cunningham, right under the goalkeeper. Patterson was underneath it. There is a bit of an issue, a clash of heads between Shaw and Patterson, and the referee immediately blows his whistle, and both medical teams run on very quickly to check on the prognosis and the health of these two rather forlorn figures, because Patterson is holding the front of his head. I think the problem is at the back or the side of Luke Shaw's head, and he doesn't look particularly comfortable.
Yeah, both of them, both full-blooded challenge for the ball, and I've got to say, fantastic defending by Luke Shaw at his far post. And Cardiff are going to have to defend balls into the box today and do it very, very well.
Yeah, well, he's just getting some treatment underneath the crossbar away to our right-hand side. And checking on Patterson too is the Cardiff medical staff. We can go down to the touchline where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Mike Phelan are out again.
Yeah, we've seen Mike Phelan and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in deep conversation constantly since kickoff. The two look really close. Phelan's been instructing the back four a lot, but at the moment they're giving a lot of instructions to Lingard. I think it's the movement that they want from that front three and from midfield that Ole's looking for. But he's had a tremendous reception from the away fans so far. Sam singing his name, waving to the away fans. It's been great stuff so far. It looks like we're going to have a substitute as well here. There's people warming up. We'll bring you a little bit more news when we get it. It's Cardiff looking particularly concerned about Patterson.
He's still down inside the area away to our right hand side. He's just taking a swig of water now and getting back to his feet, and we'll see how it develops. But interesting that Solskjaer also went to have a one-on-one with Paul Pogba during that little break as well, just to give him a few more nuggets of information. Mike Phelan sitting there with his hands very much across his mouth, sitting next to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in a suit and tie, red tie of course, legs crossed one over the other. And Mike Phelan, who was the manager of Hull City in his last job in English football, he's still currently the sporting director of Central Coast Mariners in Australia. He's just on a he's on loan, as they all are.
United have gone down that line, haven't they? Is Carrick still at West Ham, is he? Or
he's on loan, yeah. Michael Carrick very much part of the furniture now. And Emilio Alvarez, who is the goalkeeping coach as well, who's got a good relationship with David De Gea. Kieran McKenna, who was promoted from the academy group after doing well with some of the younger teams and working well down at Tottenham Hotspur under John McDermott. And he's part of now the Manchester United first team coaching staff. Here is Martial on the left hand side as we get back underway. Both players moving and on the field again. As it goes into the box, it's behind Lingard and it's cleared away by Gunnarsson. Picked up on the edge of the area by Camarasa. He then finds Junior Hoylett, who almost lost it. Good skill by the on loan Betis man, who tries to push the ball down the left hand side. Camarasa then lost it and it's picked up by Martial down the left hand side. He's still got it for Manchester United, who lead by 1-0 here in the chilly but not very cold conditions down on the South Wales coast. Back to Shaw infield to Pogba. Pogba into Martial, tries to touch it infield looking for Rashford. Again Pogba snaps back in and wins the ball in the central midfield area. Matic then slips as he tries to float the ball out towards the far side. That meant he shanked it, goes behind and away for a goal kick. 17 minutes gone. You're listening to Talksport, and Manchester United lead by 0-0. Here's Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, I think United, credit to them, they've got the early goal, they're knocking the ball around. It's a 1 and 2 touch football, which is all good. I think from Cardiff's point of view, they're showing United maybe a little bit too much respect, whether it's the fact United are moving the ball that little bit quicker and they can't get near it, but it looks as though they're all in awe of them slightly.
Well, Noel Warnock has got a long career behind him, but he's never tasted victory over Manchester United. He's tried it with Notts County, Bury, Sheffield United, QPR and Crystal Palace. It's not been a scalp he's been able to take, and he's behind already in this game. Matic winning the ball physically, but not over physically from Hoylett. Goes back to Herrera. Ashley Young is teased to go down the right hand side. He keeps galloping forward, can't reach it, and it runs out of play and away for a throw over on the far side. 1-0 Manchester United lead. Warnock did say he was expecting a new manager bounce. He has got 1,500 games under his belt, Neil Warnock. He was using maybe a little bit of kidology when he said, yeah, it's great, he can't lose, Ollie. It's great for him. He should win the next 4 games. David De Gea clears. High into the air. Harry Arter with a header. That's the key area, isn't it, that Manchester United have got to make their presence felt in. You've got Gunnarsson in there, Camarasa and Arter, and Pogba in particular has got to make sure that he works as diligently as Herrera and Matic.
They certainly have. They've got to work out of possession and in possession to create chances for the front three and supply them with good early ball.
Shaw on halfway, cuts infield, gives it to Lingard. Lingard out and away from Gunnarsson, goes towards this near touchline where Martial takes it now. He's orchestrating, wants someone to come forward. Matic steps into that role, just left of the centre circle, then goes back to Jones, then Herrera, then on to Lingard, who's now on the Manchester United right, popping it straight off into Herrera, and then sends it centrally into Pogba. It's good, quick movement by Manchester United, sometimes not perfect, but at least there's a real tempo about it, and that's what this crowd who have come down from Manchester today, 4 or 5 hour journey, will be desperate to see.
Well, they are moving the ball, as you say, with good tempo. It's 1 and 2 touch football. It's moving around. I'd like to make sure from United's point of view that ball isn't just moving from side to side. It needs to go forward, and they need to make sure they stretch Cardiff's defence in behind on occasion.
Cardiff clear the ball upfield through Etheridge, big kick away. Patterson tries to win another header, so he seems to be okay, not groggy after that collision with Luke Shaw, who also is running up and down rather easily on this near side. Matic into Herrera, then back to Jones, and then Jones out to Shaw once more, left side of the United defence. He hasn't played actually, Luke Shaw, since he picked an injury up in the warm-up against Fulham, which apparently irked Jose Mourinho. Towards the end, quite a lot irked Jose Mourinho, didn't it? Here is Young on halfway, getting to the ball ahead of the Cardiff defender. He tries to spray it out towards the left, and Martial picks it up now, gives it to Pogba. Pogba back to centre field where Herrera is waiting for it. Needs a bit of movement in front of him here. Cardiff have done well to get back into a good shape. They're on halfway and they're not allowing Manchester United to go anywhere. Jones maybe could have threaded the ball over the top for Rashford to chase. He decided not to do that. Went centrally, and Manchester United look to build again. This is Lingard on the edge of the centre circle, then down the left to Pogba, back into Lingard again, tracked by Bamba, who robs him of possession, runs up to halfway. There's space on the left for Murphy. He's got to use him. Didn't. Gave the ball away. Manchester United have turned it over, and that means a counter-attack. Pogba into Rashford, runs towards the edge of the box. He's got Martial to his left. He gets hold of it now, sends it onto his right foot, into Rashford, trying to poke it goalwards. Then it doesn't fall to Pogba, despite a tackle by Arter, who blocked the initial shot from Rashford, and they clear. But there was a great chance for Cardiff at the other end. If Sol Bamba had seen the run of Murphy over on that left-hand side, then the former Norwich man was in. He didn't, dawdled, hesitated before passing the ball, was robbed of possession, and Manchester United come forward.
I can't help thinking if that was the Reds who were attacking, then that ball might have ended up certainly on target, if not in the net.
Neil Warnock's furious about something here. Lawrence Mora's on the touchline.
He was furious because the linesman gave an offside, the assistant referee gave an offside for Josh Murphy coming back, and then they just played on. They took the free kick from inside their own half, so Kevin Blackwell also taking it up with the fourth official.
Lingard onto Lindelof, who's making a run from centre back down the right side. Etheridge comes out and gets the ball at the Swede's feet, and Neil Warnock is giving the glare at the assistant on this near side, Stephen Bennett, and Kevin Blackwell's absolutely furious. He's come out to have a word with the boss. Here's Herrera in centre field, hooking it high into the night sky. Drops down for Young. Young tries to poke it away. Martial is there. He's got his back into the defender. Won in midfield by Matic. Picked up by Pogba. Pogba trying to turn. He does that now. Infield it goes to Herrera. Matic. And then Pogba again. Manchester United leading by 1-0. Solskjaer comes out towards the edge of the area. He's telling his players to spread out a little bit more and make a bit more of an angle for a pass. Pogba into Herrera, onto Lingard, running in between two defenders. A little back heel by Martial doesn't come off because it was read by Sol Bamba, who is coming out of that central defensive position and keeping an eye on Lingard. Martial now. Back into Jones on halfway, pops it left to Shaw, onto Jones. Rashford trying to take on Gunnarsson, who just throws him to the floor like he was in a WWF ring, and then complains about it. as Michael Oliver gives a free kick.
The Vikings greeting there, I think.
He's not going to get away with that, is he?
Not a chance, no, sadly. United, everyone wants a touch of the ball, and I'd be a little bit concerned if too many of my front three players kept coming back into the midfield area to get a touch, because all of a sudden that you find that you haven't got a forward pass.
Free kick has been given though, and Ashley Young will take it 3 yards in from the touchline. You're listening to Talksport. Cardiff 0, Manchester United 1. Rashford with the goal that separates the two teams. Young, lovely swirling ball towards the far post. Pogba was up there, arcing his head and ready to pounce, but it was a good, strong header away by Bamba. And it's out of play and away for a corner kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, good defending there by Bamba. Certainly Pogba in an onside position, put a lot of pressure on Bamba, but he done well, stuck to his job.
Now, Neil Warnock said that once upon a time that he was better than Virgil van Dijk. He has subsequently said he probably had a few drinks that night. He's a good defender. Here's the corner over on the far side to be taken by Ashley Young. Manchester United on the front foot again. Pogba in there, Matic, Rashford in there, Martial, Jones, all waiting to pounce as the ball arcs away from the goalkeeper. Jones went in with a header, didn't quite connect with it. Good chance though, his body position was great, and he thinks he should have got a touch.
He certainly should have got a touch. His movement was very, very good. Flashed across the near post and just put the shallowest of touches on the ball.
25 gone. You're listening to Talk Sport. Tomorrow we've got 2 live commentaries. One on Talksport 2, Aston Villa against Leeds. That's a 1:30 kickoff, and then Everton against Tottenham is 4 o'clock, and it's on Talksport. So make sure you're with us for that. And then we'll have all the Boxing Day action for you. So much going on. We're just round the grounds all day throughout the whole of the lunchtime period, the afternoon and the evening. We've got so much going on. Make sure you're with us as you're, sorting out your cold cuts. I love Boxing Day, don't you? Boxing Day football's the best. I'll give you the odds from Betfair, Matchday Live's official betting partner on Talksport. Cardiff 16-1 to go and win the game, 6-1 on Manchester United, 6-1 the draw. For the correct score market, if it stays like this, 1-0 to Manchester United is 11-1, a 2-0 Manchester United victory, 6-1. The 1-1 draw, 11-1. And full terms and conditions are available at betfair.com, 18+. Please gamble aware. Shaw on halfway. Oh, Herrera's stumbled and he was being tracked by Arta. Was there a stray kick out by Arta there? The referee says he just caught him with his heel and the free kick has been fortuitously given.
Yeah, not a great ball by Shaw there. He's got the ball back from the throw-in and just put it straight across his back line.
There was a little trip, wasn't there?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And it was good from Harry Arta because it almost went under the radar. Here's Herrera in the centre circle, out to the wide right position. He finds Young and then gets it back and finds Herrera again. Rashford trying to get away from Bamba. Bamba's followed him everywhere and then slid the ball out of play. And it's away for a throw-in on halfway.
That's exactly what you want as a central defender. He's followed Rashford into midfield there as Bamba. And Rashford's gone with the ball deeper and deeper and deeper, and it's a tackle for nothing.
And Rashford's trying to keep it in over on the far side. Cardiff thought it had gone out. Then there's a collision between Cunningham and Rashford. And Cunningham wins the free kick. Manchester United don't want to lose their cool here. It will be a real cauldron of noise, this Cardiff City Stadium.
And that's all come from frustration, I think, from Rashford, who, when he did come into midfield and got tackled by Bamba, the crowd are up and in arms, and then he's got the opportunity to tackle someone and frustration comes in. He has to hold his depth in the team. If he doesn't do that, then United, well, it will get too condensed for them.
And they're not without confidence on their own patch. 4 wins in the last 5 here, and they beat Wolves, who have played some very good football this season.
They've certainly got the ability to upset and hurt anybody. Keep tossing that ball in the box. United have got to deal with that all afternoon.
And we played 28 minutes on Talksport. And Manchester United, so far, so good for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Neil Warnock, who hasn't sat down since the whistle blew to start proceedings off here after we had the light show. which is becoming one of those trends. Manchester United got off to the perfect start. Here is De Gea with the clearance from the goal away to our right. Rashford drops deep, flicks it on. Pogba trying to chase. Across comes Bamba, then collides with Pogba. Pogba out-muscles him and then moves infield. Plays it to the right. There's Herrera, a bit of space for him. Gets onto his right foot, shoots towards the far corner. Oh, what a fantastic goal from under Herrera. Well, the marking was lax, but the finish was sublime. Well, the handbrake's been released, and Manchester United have found they do have another gear after all. And they're hitting new heights here. It's Cardiff City 0, Manchester United 2. Under Herrera with a goal.
Yeah, fantastic set-up play by Pogba, I've got to say, on that occasion. He's picked the ball up and he's found Herrera with a threaded pass across midfield. And Herrera's just hit one, and for a moment I thought it was going to fade over the top of the crossbar, but he's looped in brilliantly. Oh, it's got a big deflection, I think, Sam, hasn't it?
Yes, I think it has, off Greg Cunningham, who turned his back on the ball, and it popped off his shoulder, and I think that's added extra curl and loop, so it's out of the reach of the goalkeeper, who's diving up to his left-hand side. He can't get there, and because of that deflection, it's taken it away from the goalkeeper, who's a Philippine international. He can't grasp it, and it goes into the back of the net, and Under Herrera scores, and Manchester United lead by 2-0.
Yeah, what it has done is taken the pace off the ball. I think without that taking the pace off the ball, it doesn't loop, it doesn't drop in the goal.
Murphy down the left-hand side, across into the centre, and it's blocked by Herrera, and it's out and away for a corner kick. Ashley Young complaining, but it is a corner to Cardiff, because Murphy was coming forward down the left-hand side for the Bluebirds, who now find themselves 2-0 down against Manchester United.
Wow, what a start. What a start for a new tenure for a manager.
Here is the corner. They've got to be careful here, though. Patterson making a nuisance of himself. He goes towards the ball, but Rashford wins the header at the near post. It's picked up by Lingard. Then Rashford tries to come away with it, can't do so, and it goes out of play over on the far side. He just sort of tucked it back into him, and he tried to gather it in his stride and run. And there's a few shakes of the head on the front bench of Neil Warnock and the opposition of Manchester United tonight. And I wonder how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer reacted to that. We'll get there in just a second as Murphy teases his way down the left again. He's a real live wire. Flashes a ball through the 6-yard area, no one there to attack it. And it goes right out of play on this near side and away for a throw for Manchester United. Lawrence Mora is sitting behind Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Huge celebrations again from Ollie, punching the air as that goal went in, but he was really keen to get hold of Pogba afterwards and congratulate him on his part in that, and telling him to force that pressure up the pitch. He wants his team to play on the front foot here.
Well, it was all to do with the fact that Rashford went short to win a flick on. It went down the right-hand side. Bamba went across, and he looked like he was the favourite for it, but Pogba edged him off the ball.
Yeah, he's certainly shown a lot more energy, hasn't he, in this game. He looks as though he's up for the game a little bit more. He wants the ball all the time.
Jones. Matic. The Manchester United fans are the ones you could hear away to our right-hand side. There's about 3,000 of them that have made the journey to support the new manager in his quest. Here is Lindelof, forward towards Pogba. Pogba back to Lingard, but he's dispossessed by Gunnarsson. Good challenge by Matic. The ball played towards Gunnarsson again, though, by Cardiff. Matic with a lovely cheeky flick in between Murphy and Patterson. And Manchester United are on the run again here. Young being played down the right-hand side. It wasn't a great ball into him. And it's cut out and put away on the far side and away for a throw-in.
I think that might have crept out for a corner.
Well, the referee is gesticulating that might be the way. It had a bit of backspin on it, didn't it?
Yeah. It is... should be a perfect position now for Man United. Got the second goal, should be counter-attack football. Don't over-elaborate, don't show off in midfield. Be concise, go forward and look for the cutting edge.
Here is the corner then. And Young is going to take it. He'll arc it away from the goal. It'll be an outswinger from Ashley Young, who sends the ball in towards the centre of the penalty area. Matic is up there, it drops inside the box, and it's Morrison who dives in front of his keeper to get away before Martial can shoot. The ball comes back to the left now. Herrera into Shaw, then Shaw into Lingard. He's surrounded by blue shirts. He goes wide to Pogba. Pogba forward into Lingard again. Lingard into Martial, who's still trying to get away from Morrison, who's all over him like a rash. It's back with Pogba once again, who doesn't want the ball now, but Shaw does, moves towards the left-hand side, and then Morrison goes all the way through Shaw and pushes the ball out for a throw-in down by the corner flag away to our left-hand side.
Yeah, Neil Warnock's remonstrating with the linesman in front of him, thinks that's a foul.
He thought that Shaw just sort of hung in the air. Here is Matic, Herrera, Matic again. Lindelof taking over inside the centre circle. Matic just stops Lindelof being pressed. It's a lovely ball by Jones down to Pogba, who drags his foot over the ball, runs towards the corner flag, gets to the byline. He's taking on Gunnarsson, plays it against the Icelander and wins the corner.
Yeah, good play there by Pogba. Just bought his team a little bit of time. Edge forward, got the corner. Perfect.
He looks up for it today.
Yeah, he does.
Does that divide you inside?
It half irritates me, if I'm being honest with you, that we know that probably the level of intensity that he's shown already in this game has been nowhere near that level, because I've certainly been bemoaning the fact, if you look at how many dynamic runs have we seen from him in this season gone by.
May well be a debate for later. 10 minutes to go before half-time. Young delivers a ball deep in towards the edge of the area. Herrera hits it first time, comes back towards Shaw, who throws a foot at it, and it wasn't a great tackle. That is going to be a yellow card for Luke Shaw.
I think that's tough, really. I think Luke Shaw's looking to volley that as it comes to the edge of the box, and then when he realises, if I do volley it, I might break my leg on the follow-through on the player, he ends up changing his mind and just dangling a leg. Yeah, I'm not sure there's any intent, any malice at all in that.
10 minutes to go before half-time. Our first yellow card of the game goes for Luke Shaw, who has now picked up 6 yellow cards this season. And he did look as if he was shaping to shoot there, didn't he, Shaw, as that ball came back across the edge of the box. Couldn't connect with it. Hoylett from the free kick runs down the right for Cardiff City. Back into Camarasa. And now here's Ekiel Manga, who's hugging the touchline. He's nudged on by Hoylett, looking for the run of Camarasa, but Shaw is there to knock it out of play. And I suppose the one thing that Cardiff will have to look forward to is the fact that Manchester United don't keep clean sheets very often. David De Gea's kept 2 in 17 games. Gunnarsson has a throw-in, which means he'll launch it into the box. It's high towards Morrison. They double up on him and they manage to bring the ball away. Oh, has it hit the hand of Rashford? And the penalty's been given. Well, Rashford used his body, it looked like, to bring it down. It might have hit the top of his arm, and the assistant on this near side, Stephen Bennett, straight away flagged, and Michael Oliver gave the penalty.
Yeah, he's leant into the ball, but I think his initial push was with the top of his arm, and I personally think it's a penalty. He's trying to say it was his shoulder. For me, I think he's used his arm as a lever to take the ball, and your face is telling me you don't agree with me, big man.
I think it's up for debate, isn't it?
When it first happened, before the referee gave the decision, I thought it was handball.
It's just the way that it just seems to hit the apex of the shoulder and the top of the arm. Well, the referee was under no illusions, and nor was the linesman on this near side. He thought it was handball. Look, they were pretty much in the perfect position. And now it's David De Gea.
Well, the clean sheet's under threat, and you know if you're a lucky manager, your goalie gets you out of trouble here and keeps you in it.
Well, Camarasa is going to take it. And David De Gea is bouncing up and down on the line. He steps up, right-footed, and sends it high above David De Gea and into the net. And Victor Camarasa gets his second goal of the season. It's a good penalty, and it keeps Cardiff alive in the game. Not a flinch from Neil Warnock. It's Cardiff 1, Manchester United 2, and Marcus Rashford, who started the game with a free kick which gave Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the lead, has given away a penalty.
Yeah, I've got to say, wonderful penalty. He's lifted it high. De Gea's gone the right way, but it's just gone over him, whipped right into the postage stamp. Great penalty.
Well, we didn't want it to be all over now, did we? We wanted a bit more Christmas festive fun.
Yeah, we're hoping for a 5-4.
Here is Pogba, round the corner, looking for Shaw, tries to centre it, Morrison across. It goes out, down by the corner flag. It might be a throw, that. It's a long way from where we are. We're deep inside Manchester United territory at the other end, looking down the line here. We're in the middle of the first tier. But that corner flag is quite away from us. It is a throw into Manchester United, who lead by 2-1. Pogba wanted a free kick on the edge of the area after wrestling with Gunnarsson. Martial taking it on. Again, they'll need to show character here, Manchester United, to survive this. Here's Lingard, edge of the area, trying to bend one in towards the near post. Didn't get enough height or width on that, and it goes straight down the throat of Neil Etheridge.
Well, whether he's handballed it or not, I personally think he did. But the indicator for me is there's an arm stroke shoulder movement towards the ball, and that would give the officials every opportunity to give a penalty.
Lawrence Moore is on the touchline. What was the reaction?
There wasn't much of a reaction on the Manchester United bench, to be quite honest. Ollie took a time, stood up for a while, watched it, and then sat motionless, just watched the penalty being stroked in. Neil Warnock very much the same. Game on now, though.
Here is Herrera, inside opposition territory. Back to Pogba. Pogba into Matic. And then it's all the way back to Lindelof, who just strolls through the centre circle. Up to Martial, who gives it back. Oh, it's dicey, that pass from Martial. Patterson almost pounced on it. He's found Herrera, and now Martial's wandering down the right for Manchester United in those blood-red jerseys. Pogba plays a 1-2. Martial gets it back from Lingard. Oh, what a finish! What a goal! What a response from Manchester United, who have scored 3 goals in the first half at Cardiff. What a fantastic movement! It was excellent. Martial picked that up on halfway. He slalommed down the right, exchanged passes with Pogba and Lingard in the box, and then finished it beautifully into the far corner, well past the outstretched arm of Etheridge, and it's now Cardiff 1, Manchester United 3.
Well, United there just ripped through the Cardiff backline. They had 7-8 players goal side of the ball, little interchange, 1-2 movement off the ball, and when Martial got in and received the ball in the box, fantastic composure, drew the goalkeeper, slid it past his right hand.
That is some goal from Manchester United, and what a response.
All their season's entertainment has come today for the season, just in time for the Christmas video.
Well, it's funny, isn't it? They've been miserable and had to watch such dull football over the course of the season so far. There's nothing dull about this. It might not be perfect, by the way, but it's certainly good fun.
It's a fantastic game for us. We felt as though it might be, and it certainly appeared that way.
Well, when things started to happen on Tuesday, Stuart and I couldn't wait to board the train to Cardiff and get down here and see this football match. We spoke about it a lot in midweek when we were doing the Carabao Cup quarter-finals, and here we are, and all of its promise has been delivered. It's 3-1 to Manchester United. A rip-roaring first half. Cardiff have a free kick. There was a foul by Jones, I think it was, in centre field, and midway inside Manchester United's half of the field, Camarasa, who scored the penalty, will take the free kick.
Yeah, if Cardiff get one back now, I think the 5-4 is definitely on the cards.
Here's Camarasa swirling it to the far post, looking for Morrison. Oh, he jumped too early, it went over his head and then runs out towards the far side. Arturi cycles it, Bamba's in the centre. Oh, it hits the top of the crossbar. It might have already actually have arced out and come back in, but it just landed on top of the crossbar, and David De Gea, who wasn't too concerned about it, allowed it to go behind.
Yeah, United have dealt really well with balls into the box. They've had to deal with 4 or 5 long throws. They've had to deal with a few corners as well, but they've been up to the challenge, and that's something that I felt going into the game today, if you're only half at it and you're not fully focused, that is an area where Cardiff will hurt you.
Well, Cardiff have managed to pierce the Manchester United back line. Don't think there's too much of a surprise in that. But Manchester United have scored 3 times in the first half. I think there might have been a bit of a surprise about that. Here is Matic back to Herrera. Herrera's clearance is not great. Josh Murphy plays it to Arta, and Arta's got it left side of the Manchester United penalty area into the final 90 seconds of the first half on Talksport. It's with Gunnarsson looking for the run of Josh Murphy. The flag is up on this near side, and Murphy must have come back from an offside position. Certainly that's the accusation.
Yeah, he has, but Murphy he shrugged his shoulders in the fact that he didn't attempt to play the ball, I didn't think.
Well, Murphy went running down the left, then stepped back. The ball was played forward by Gunnarsson, and it was Young who played it from behind him. I think maybe the linesman on this near side didn't see that. No,
he's got a 50-odd yard view of it.
Martial takes it on after a clearance by De Gea. Sends it into the centre looking for Rashford. Back to Pogba, who wipes at the ball and cuts across it. It comes off the outside of his boot and swirls away for a goal kick. It was actually closer to the corner flag by the time it crossed the white line. And the goal, it goes out of play and away for a goal kick away to our left. So how would you sum up the first 45 minutes of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's reign as Manchester United boss?
Well, there's more intensity about United's play, the way they're moving the ball, from what I've seen for the majority of this season. I've got to say they're moving it quickly, 1 and 2 touch. Would like to see there more a defined pattern to what they're trying to do. Listen, don't get me wrong, he's a new manager's been through the door 3-4 days, so you can understand that. But I think from United's point of view, to get 3 goals away from home in your first game, they'll be absolutely delighted. And then the only downside is shipping a cheap goal.
Here is Martial down the left. 3 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. Martial trying to get into the box. Morrison comes across, nudges him off the ball, and it goes away for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. Those 3 minutes that have been added are because of the injury to Patterson and Shaw in the first half, where they had quite a nasty clash of heads, which was eventually dealt with. Both continued, but that delay obviously coupled with the fact that Manchester United have scored 3 and Cardiff have scored once means that there's been quite a few minutes added at the end of the first half. Gunnarsson's just lent into the back of Rashford. It wasn't a great challenge, that. Free kick has been given just short of halfway. The score: Cardiff 1, Manchester United 3 on Talksport with Just Eat. Order on the app. The app for all your takeaway needs. By the way, it's at this point in proceedings I think we should say thank you to Laura for her Christmas presents.
Been absolutely outstanding. In fact, I've opened mine and halfway through them, really.
Half of them as well.
Yeah, I've hit the back 4. I'm just going to break into the midfield and strikers later on.
I don't think those subs are going to stick around either.
I've got some wonderful chocolates here. Yeah. Soft-centred. Declan said it's a bit like me,
Is it?
Tough outside exterior, very soft on the in.
And loves a bit of punk rock. I got fudge, me.
Yeah, well, say no more. She's obviously thought about these deeper than we actually give her credit for.
I think she just knows that I like it. Here is Martial down the left onto Lingard inside the area, tries to turn, plays it across the box, looking for Herrera, and then it's cleared away over on the far side.
Declan's got after 8s because obviously his vampire tendencies mean that he can only come out after dark.
There's a brilliant photo actually of the 4 of us doing the rounds on Instagram, in which actually I still can't see whether he's there or not. And that's our producer, who has been brilliant for us over 2018, and we're delighted to have him with us every week. It's a great team. Here is well, I suppose that's what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's trying to create as well, isn't he? The team spirit, and certainly it seems to have worked so far. Manchester United 3, Cardiff City 1. Here is Rashford, who got the scoring started down the right-hand side, but has had some interesting moments. He was involved in a flare-up over on the far touchline and then gave away a penalty. So he hasn't had the perfect afternoon, but His free kick was pretty good. And that started proceedings here. Throw in then to Cardiff, deep inside their own half. It's thrown down the left-hand side towards the halfway line. It's a bouncing ball which runs clear. The half-time whistle blows from Michael Oliver. Well, there's nothing damp or dour about this performance from Manchester United. Underway after 3 minutes with a goal from Marcus Rashford. A free kick which outwitted the goalkeeper Neil Etheridge. Followed that up with another goal very soon after from Ander Herrera, which took a deflection. Camaras's penalty after Rashford's handball then gave Cardiff hope. But Anthony Martial soon put paid to that. A lovely run down the right-hand side. He exchanged passes, Pogba, Lingard, back to Martial. And it was 3-1 in a blink of an eye. Half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium, and it's Cardiff 1, Manchester United 3.
I couldn't have put it better myself, Sam. I was watching Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after that third goal went in, and all he could do was stand there with a smile on his face, ear to ear, and he just clapped. I looked to my right, I saw the travelling fans all on their feet, all singing. This is the kind of football that Manchester United fans have been longing to see for quite some time now. Manchester United 3, Cardiff 1, and we're only at half-time. There's loads more football to look forward to then across the Talksport network. On Sunday from 1:30, Aston Villa take on Leeds in the Championship. That is over on Talksport 2. Then at 4 o'clock, it's Everton taking on Tottenham. That is in the Premier League on Talksport. Then on Wednesday from midday, it's Matchday Live. And Talksport's Adrian Durham hosts Tottenham versus Bournemouth with Gordon Strachan at Leicester City versus Manchester City. Then Mickey Gray at Manchester United versus Huddersfield. And then from 3 o'clock, it's Sheffield United taking on Derby in the Championship. And you can hear that over on Talksport 2. Right, we've already heard from him once. Let's check in now with Barry Orr and Betfair.
The Form Zone on Talksport with Betfair, where gut instinct meets smarts. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
And we welcome you back, Barry Orr. What are the latest?
Yeah, half-time betting in play on Betfair now. Laura, Cardiff 125 to 1. Man United massive odds on at 1 to 33. It's 20 to 1 to draw. And correct score betting, if you think it's going to stay 3-1, that's 7 to 2. A 4-1 win for United is currently 3 to 1. Or a 3-all draw is a 20 to 1 chance. Some odds boost in play on Betfair. 6 or more goals to be scored in the matches, 11 to 10. Or Pogba to score any time in the second half, 5 to 1.
Excellent, Barry Orr. Thank you very much. Those were your latest odds with Matchday Live's official betting partner, Betfair.
The Form Zone on Talksport with Betfair, where gut instinct meets smarts. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Okay, and we welcome back Stuart Pearce, who's enjoyed that first half, I'm sure. Stuart, let's just look back on the way that Manchester United are playing at the moment. You mentioned it a lot in that commentary there. This is the sort of football that the fans have been dying to see.
Yeah, they've been a lot sharper in their attitude of play. I've got to say, they're moving the ball quicker. It's good 1 and 2 touch. I'll have to quantify that and say that they are playing against Cardiff, and Cardiff are, slightly off the pace, let's say, in regard to putting pressure on them and shutting down. If it was Tottenham today or another team, might be slightly different. But they can do no more. They've got 3 goals on the road. They've given a sloppy penalty away, whether it was a handball or not. I think yes, but obviously Marcus thinks no. But listen, you'll be delighted to walk in there as a new manager 3-1 up away from home.
He gave away that penalty, but earlier on it only took him 3 minutes to get the first goal. It was a free kick won over by Paul Pogba. Neil Warnock, about 6 minutes after, was still spewing on the touchline. He was still shouting at Neil Etheridge. He was absolutely livid with him. And it hasn't got much better for Neil. What can he do now?
Well, I mean, he's ended up trying to prejudge where the ball might go instead of just defending his side of the goal, basically, and took a step to the right and the ball's beat him to his left. So, that's a disappointing start to him, and that's the last thing you needed to do to a club coming to your ground with a new manager.
Paul Pogba had a hand in the first goal, he had a hand in the second goal as well, quite cleverly found Ander Herrera. And Herrera's shot took a slight deflection, but it was a brilliant goal all in all. What do you think of his performance so far? Because it's a little bit patchy. He's going to be a bit rusty anyway, but he's showing shots of brilliance and sometimes frustrating moments that the fans will recognise.
Yeah, in some ways he is the one player that because of his stature, because of what he's done with France, because of the big money move, you look at every action that he takes on a football pitch, and if you just overviewed the game, you would probably say he was arguably one of the standout players within the game. He's got on the ball, he's wanted to get on the ball. I think at times he wants to, I wouldn't say showboat, that's, take the wrong option at the time, play the safe option. I'd like to see him be a touch more expansive for what he's done, but listen, he's had a hand in 2 of the goals, so credit to him.
Well, when the penalty went in for Cardiff, the stadium absolutely erupted. Everyone was so excited. It was a potential comeback, but Manchester United have just stopped that short for a moment. It's Manchester United 3 and Cardiff 1, and the United fans wanted to be entertained, and with the first half down, that is certainly what they're getting.
Pogba and Rashford standing over this free kick. It's just a shade left of centre. Pogba back in the team, runs over the ball, leaves it for Rashford. Through the wall it goes and into the net. And 2 minutes and 59 seconds into Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's reign, a young Manchester United striker has scored already. Marcus Rashford gets the Norwegians' tenure off to a flyer. Herrera, a bit of space for him, gets onto his right foot, shoots towards the far corner. Oh, what a fantastic goal from under Herrera. Well, the handbrake's been released, and Manchester United have found they do have another gear after all, and they're hitting new heights here. It's Cardiff City 0, Manchester United 2. Under Herrera with a goal. Into the box, it's high towards Morrison. They double up on him and they manage to bring the ball away. Has it hit the hand of Rashford? And the penalty's been given. Oh, Camarasa is going to take it. And David De Gea is bouncing up and down on the line. He steps up, right-footed, and sends it high above David De Gea and into the net. And Victor Camarasa gets his second goal of the season. It's a good penalty, and it keeps Cardiff alive in the game. It's Pogba, plays a 1-2. Martial gets it back from Lingard. Oh, what a finish! What a goal! What a response from Manchester United, who have scored 3 goals in the first half at Cardiff. What a fantastic movement! It was excellent. Martial picked that up on halfway. He slalomed down the right, exchanged passes with Pogba and Lingard in the box, and then finished it beautifully into the far corner.
Round the grounds on Matchday Live on Talksport with Just Eat. The app for takeaways, all of them. Football, food, living the dream.
Were your hopes of a Spanish property left in ruins? Did your dream home never materialise? Thousands of British buyers like you have been left with nothing to show for their investment. We're Reclaim in Spain, and if you were one of the many who paid a deposit on an off-plan overseas property and ended up with nothing, please get in touch. We're experts in recovering money lost on Spanish properties. To find out more, visit reclaiminspain.com.
Up at the crack of dawn jobs. Burning the midnight oil jobs. Finished with time to spare jobs. A bit trickier than your first thought jobs. Whatever the job, the Vauxhall Vivaro van comes with 6 years 0% APR for £199 per month. Just the job. Vauxhall. British brand since 1903. Conditional sale. 6 years 0% APR. Minimum 20% deposit plus VAT at 20% on total price. Financed by Vauxhall Finance. Subject to status. 18 plus. Small business users only. Search for Varo 199.
The Premier League festive period, and there's football nearly every day. Is going into the new year top all it's made out to be? Will squad rotation play a decisive role? And can those at the bottom turn their season around? Your gut says the season's won and lost in the festive period, and your smarts say whatever happens, Betfair has had the best odds on the Premier League. Betfair, where gut instinct meets smarts.
Data provided by TX Odds and BetRadar based on Betfair Sportsbook average match odds over round since 1st of January 2018. Full terms at betfair.com, 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Finding your perfect new home can be tough. So if you keep missing out,
it's time to search out On the Market.
There are thousands of new properties to buy or rent every month at onthemarket.com. 24 hours or more before they're on Rightmove or Zoopla.
On the Market.
See them first. Set up a property alert today.
Search onthemarket.com to find your perfect home.
If you're in the market, search onthemarket.com. See onthemarket.com/new and exclusive. Agents specify exclusivity.
Hey, Philip Schofield here. WeBuyAnyCar.com reckon you could find out what your car's worth in under 60 seconds. I know, I didn't believe it myself, so I timed it. And it's true. It actually took me only 53 seconds. Not that it's a race. So if you want to find out how much your car's worth, or just want to beat my time, enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com. I think I might give it another go. £49. Get in.
Admin fee may apply. For more information, see webuyanycar.com/info.
Are you ready to order?
I'd love a prawn cocktail.
And I'd like cheaper car insurance. This is a restaurant, sir, but perhaps this gentleman here can help.
Go compare.
Good plan. Plus, you'd have got a discount off your bill here tonight had you bought your car or home insurance through.
Go compare.
And got your free Dine membership, knocking money off the bill in thousands of restaurants for a whole year.
Gosh, where do I go again? Eat out more and fork out less with Go Compare.
Terms and conditions and limits apply, of course, sir.
Saturday, staying in. Me, plonked on sofa. Cat, plonked on me. Faded 80s football shirt. Absurdly squashy slippers. Vino, glass off. Telly, remote control. Friend coming round. App, opened. Curry, ordered. Monumental in scale. Balti, korma, sog paneer. Mandatory onion bhajis, on their way. Big game in the Prem. Argy-bargy likely, lol. Kick-off, soon. Football, food, living the dream. Just eat.
It's Christmas at Talksport. We don't want a repeat of last year when Paul and Andy had an argument over the remote control on Christmas Day.
Give it to me back. I want to watch the Queen. Oh, you are the Queen. Give it here.
Christmas 2018 on Talksport.
Merry Christmas.
Welcome back to Matchday Live with me, Laura Wood, Stuart Pearce and Sam Matterface. We are here at the Cardiff City Stadium where Manchester United are leading Cardiff 3-1. It's the halfway mark in the game. And Cardiff are going to have to pull out something special if they want to get back into this game, because Manchester United are playing like a completely different team to what we've seen so far this season. Sam Matterface to my left has just broken his chair, not quite sure what he's trying to do there, just getting himself ready for commentary, which is going to take over shortly. And Stuart Pearce is just sitting to his right, in between us, a suitable, a suitable buffer from all the nonsense that's going on over there for the moment. I think he's had too much chocolate, Stuart. Let's just sum up what we've seen so far. Then we touched on it a moment ago, but what we didn't do was talk about that third goal. A brilliant passage of play by Manchester United, excellently finished off by Anthony Martial, and that's the kind of thing that I suppose now the gloves are off and that Jose Mourinho is out, we might see more of. Do you think?
Well, listen, I don't think we can lay everything bad at the doors of one of the best managers the world has ever seen. You know, that's a difficult.
That's a bit harsh.
It's very harsh. But let's just look at it. The incisive play was fantastic for that goal. The strikers they got on the pitch have got a bit of pace, a bit of intricacy about it, and we saw them combining together in Martial, Rashford, Lingard, and we need to see, or United certainly need to see, a bit more of that. It was fantastic interchange of play. Once he got in the box, you can't touch him, you know what I mean? Any slight touch and he'll go down. And when he got in there, he finished brilliantly. And we've been waiting, and I think United fans have been waiting for Martial to do that on a more consistent level.
You said earlier on it is Cardiff, and we have to take that into consideration, Stu, but I mean, this is a different team. These players are playing differently. They're more. They look like they're more up for it. They've got more energy, and that's no coincidence. I don't think that Jose Mourinho isn't here anymore, and all of a sudden they look completely revitalised.
They're playing like a team that have just got a new manager playing. You know, everyone's on high alert. They're moving the ball nice and quickly. It looks as though the key messages for me are, look, let's play expansive, let's move the ball quickly. I think they're moving the ball quickly. I would still like them to stretch Cardiff a little bit more. This game's set up brilliantly for United, certainly United in the Ferguson days, to counter-attack and score 2 more goals. If this was a Ferguson team, I think they'd go and get another 2 and win this 5-1.
And you can see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer along the touchline there, when during the play, where he's telling them to spread out, he's telling them to find more space, and he's encouraging them to push upwards.
Yeah, because at the moment what's happening is they've got good possession of the ball, comfortable possession. They're not under a great deal of threat from Cardiff, and everyone wants a piece of the action, if you like. And the hardest thing to do in football is to go away from the football and leave others with the ball. And some of United, certainly their more advanced players, are going towards the ball to get a touch of it and think, oh, there's a party going on, I want to get involved.
This is what Neil Warnock was talking about, wasn't it? In his pre-match press conference, when he said, look, this is the most dangerous time to play Manchester United, and we don't want to play them at the moment because they're going to come out with a new manager and because they're going to come out fighting.
Yeah, it's always a fear factor for any manager to take on a team. When a team are on a badish run, you're desperate for them to hang on to their manager until after they've played you, you know. And all his fears are being realised, I think, in this game. There's been an uplift in United's performance, an uplift in their intensity and an uplift in their finishing.
Cardiff are going to need to be careful, because obviously this is a game against a Manchester United team that last week they might have quite fancied, and this week obviously they don't now. And in terms of where they are on the table, they for a little while looked like they were getting themselves a bit safer, didn't they?
Well, they certainly are, but if you look at things from the start of the season, if you turn around and looked at Cardiff's plight, if you would have said to them, look, on Christmas Day you're going to be outside the bottom three, they would take that every day. And I think if the end of the season comes and they're in the same position or higher, they'll be absolutely delighted. And I think it'll be a fantastic for Neil Warnock if they do actually. I still feel as though they'll be one of the hot favourites to go down, Cardiff.
Well, we had a little bit of Fatboy Slim earlier on during the light show, and we just had a bit of heavy metal, so I wonder if somebody in Cardiff City is trying to revitalise their team a little bit. Let's hand you over to your commentary team then for the second half. It's Stuart Pearce who's joining Sam Matterbase.
Thank you very much, Laura. Cardiff's last win over Manchester United came in the build-up to Christmas 1960. Piercy wasn't even born then, were you?
No, just a twinkle in the milkman's eye, my friend.
United's last visit here did end in a dramatic draw, with Kim Bo-kyung scoring a last-minute injury-time equaliser, which lifted the roof off the Cardiff City Stadium. Manchester United have been defeated in each of their last 3 Premier League away games against newly promoted sides, but they lead at the break by 3 goals to 1. No changes from either team as we get the second half underway. Cardiff in blue shirts, shorts and socks, attacking the goal away to our left. It's red shirts and white shorts for Manchester United, and socks, shooting from left to right in the second half. I'll go through the 2-11s in just a moment, but Gunnarsson's got the ball off Pogba in centre midfield, played it left out to Cunningham. Cunningham's ball down the left touchline is looking for Patterson, a header away by Lindelof, and then into Phil Jones, and he strokes the ball forward into midfield on Nemanja Matic. Etheridge is the Cardiff goalkeeper. Akulmanga, Morrison, Bamber and Cunningham are the back four. Gunnarsson holding with Hoylett, Camara, Serrata and Murphy in midfield. Callum Patterson leading the line. Rashford trying to put pressure on Bamber. It wasn't the best of clearances by Bamber. That pressure enough to make him put it out of play and away for a United throw, who have got De Gea in goal. Young, Jones, Lindelof and Shaw, who's been booked. Matic and Herrera, and then Pogba behind the roving 3 of Lingard, Rashford and Martial. Stuart Pearce is alongside us. The Manchester United official Twitter feed said at half-time, more of the same please in the second half. Well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer have been saying the same. And are there any words of encouragement you can give Neil Warnock?
Well, I think for Cardiff to improve a little bit, I've not seen a lot of them live this year, but I think Patterson's got to be more competitive, if you like, up front in holding things up. Once he holds things up, you would expect there to be a threat from Hoylett and Murphy on either side of him to set things up. But at the moment, I don't think he's winning straight headers, and I don't think he's holding it up well enough to give Cardiff a foothold to get up the pitch a little bit.
Patterson's just played the ball down the left-hand side blind there, and it's gone to no one in particular. Easily mopped up by Ashley Young, and then cleared away to our left-hand side.
As I say, it's not easy for him. He's up there. He's one striker against 2 central defenders, but those central defenders are dominating him at the moment.
The PGMOL have been in touch, and they said, yeah, definitely a penalty for handball. Excellent decision by assistant referee Simon Bennett.
I don't want to say it, but told you so.
Listen, I just thought it might have been up for debate. As we said at the time, they were in perfect positions. It was exactly perpendicular to where he was standing, and he straight away didn't have any hesitation whatsoever.
I think as well, it was a cheap penalty to give away, weren't it? You're 2-0 up in a game. It's a silly penalty to give away. Whatever part of your arm it's got, he's almost gestured with his body that he is using his arm, and well, that was enough.
Well, the ball is running past Rashford as we speak into the arms of Neil Etheridge, who will go away for the Asian Cup at the start of January. It means that Cardiff will miss him, but just for one game, and I think that game is going to be the game against Gillingham in the FA Cup. He's going to come back after that. The Philippines are going to release him so that he can come back and play for Cardiff in the Premier League because he's so important to the team. That doesn't happen very often, does it?
No, it certainly doesn't. International level, there's normally a continual fight between club and country and vice versa.
Manchester United have a throw deep inside their own territory on the right as they look at it. Ed Woodward is the focus of the camera's attention, high up in the main stand that we're in the director's box. He's just having a quick word with Michael Ellison and another companion in the front row. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's in deep conversation with Michael Carrick in the front row of the Manchester United bench. Here's Martial into Pogba. Rashford's made a run down the left. Bamba's gone with him. Rashford's picked the ball up and tried to come infield. Couldn't get away from Bamba, who has managed to get his challenge in, and then his distribution isn't great, and Shaw intervenes on halfway, and United have it back again. This is Pogba out wide to Martial, who runs down the side of the penalty area. Rashford, more room in the box this time. Back into Rashford from Martial. He's shot across the goalkeeper. Takes a little deflection and goes out and away for a corner kick. Well, I thought maybe he might decide to cross it from that angle because it was acute, but instead he went for the shot, and I think someone got a touch on it, which took it behind and away for a corner.
Yeah, as I say, drove it with pace. I think the goalkeeper there just got a touch on it and put it out for a corner. Just looking at Bamba there, his little bit of pace, his security for Cardiff. He's just got to do slightly better when he wins it back, hasn't he, with his possession work.
6 minutes gone in the second half. This is Young to take the corner kick, an out swinger towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's cleared away by Bamba and then picked up by Victor Lindelof. Lindelof into Paul Pogba and then back out towards Young on this near side, the Manchester United right, as they look at it. You're listening to Talksport live at Cardiff City Stadium down here in South Wales. The moon is high and bright in the sky. Just a smidgen of cloud is covering it at the moment as Rashford goes through the middle down the right side, played in by Pogba, tries to get beyond the run of Cunningham, can't get it out of his feet, and Etheridge comes out and very quickly gobbles it up.
Yeah, Cunningham's done well there. Good recovery challenge in a position where that could quite easily have been a penalty.
Here is Patterson at the other end, just trying to keep hold of the ball again. He doesn't really manage to hold it up, and then Arta's ball forward is inaccurate. It goes over the top of the Scotland international and into the arms of David De Gea, away to our left-hand side. Harry Arta, whose last goal in the Premier League was for Bournemouth against Huddersfield in November 2017. He's only on a season-long loan from Bournemouth, but regular football was the order of the day for Harry Arta. He's certainly getting that at Cardiff. This is Herrera. Infield it goes to Matic. Matic swirls a ball out towards the far side. It draws applause from Mike Phelan on the near touchline as it reaches Shaw. Then Pogba takes it down the left where he's trying to get beyond Morrison. Shaw, Martial, and then Martial again down that left-hand side as Morrison comes across and just smashes it out of play.
Yeah, they've got to do slightly better than that, Cardiff. They've got good position, turn the ball over. You've got to try and play out from the back, keep possession of the ball, otherwise you've got no chance of getting up the pitch.
Well, Rashford just trying to get in behind Cunningham there, almost managed to get away from him just moments ago, but couldn't get the ball under control, and that allowed Greg Cunningham to get the challenge in. Of course, Cunningham knows all about Manchester. He's a former Manchester City boy. Made 4 appearances for the first team under Roberto Mancini. Pogba trying to steal a march on Gunnarsson. Doesn't win it this time, but Herrera does as Akil Manga comes out with it in the right full-back position. Manchester United turn it over. Martial onto Pogba, trying to get some space for the shot. He gets it, blocked by Bamba, who quickly rushed him. And the ball goes out of play and away for a throw over on the far side.
Yeah, from Cardiff's perspective at the moment, they're just being penned in. Can't get the ball up the pitch. And Gunnarsson's on the floor at the moment.
Yeah,
they won't want to lose him.
Got a bit of an issue. He needs a bit of treatment, does he? Or he's not allowed to get it now because he's stood up and he has to go off the pitch. Is that right? He's having a word with Mike Oliver. They called on the trainer, the physio, and now they're telling him he's got to go back off again now because he's on his feet. So the physio is now just taking instruction. Gunnarsson is slowly moving off the field. He's a warrior, isn't he? That's for sure. Won't give you a minute's peace. He was actually in the team that were relegated under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
He's just got a niggle on his ankle from Pogba there.
Here is Shaw as the throw-in is taken and sent in towards Ander Herrera. Then back to the right side and Lingard into Herrera once again. Now Lingard looking up. There's a bit of movement from Pogba, who just drops deep as the ball was played forward. Gunnarsson's played it back to his goalkeeper after coming off the field of play, and Etheridge had to scoop it clear. It was a bit too fast from Gunnarsson as he played it back to Etheridge. Almost caused him a problem. Here's Lingard running at the defence. Skips past one challenge of Bamba. Comes infield, then goes down. And I think that's going to be a penalty kick. Well, he was in a knot of 3 blue shirts and he went to pull the trigger, and as he did so, his legs went from underneath him. I don't think it's the most clear-cut penalty, and Bamba is pleading his innocence, but there were so many bodies around him, you just felt as if it was inevitable, really.
Yeah, it was an interesting one there, wasn't it? There was a lot of bodies around him. I think it ended up being Sol Bamba potentially.
The back leg of Sol Bamba kicks the bottom of his heel, I think.
Yeah, who's taking him. But Cardiff have come out this half and have got no answer for United. They haven't. They can't secure possession anywhere further up the pitch than the halfway line. And they've just been penned in and penned in. I've got to say, a fantastic ball by Matic, actually, to split the midfield that set up Lingard.
Well, Lingard has told everybody else to go away. He has 2 goals for England and 2 goals for Manchester United this season. Jesse Lingard is not the regular penalty taker. He scored the first goal of Mourinho's reign, and he scored in the first game of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's reign as well. It's an excellent penalty from Jesse Lingard, who runs up to the ball and hits it right-footed into the corner of the net. No chance for Etheridge. It was so far wide of him he couldn't reach it. The Manchester United fans over in the far corner are jubilant because their team have scored 4 times this afternoon. It is Cardiff 1, Manchester United 4.
Yeah, the game's opened up now. I think that 3rd goal was probably put United out of sight anyway as the result went. Now it's just a case of how many can they score in this game, because the game's wide open for United at the moment. They've got players who can run past Cardiff's defenders.
Well, Manchester United, I think, might make a change now as a result of that. They're going to warm up some substitutes because they've got themselves into such a good position here. And this is what the fans came to see. And away to our right-hand side, the banners are out. They've kept them for a while. It says 20 legend. That was his old number, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, here at Manchester United, and the O for the 20 and the L and the E are all in red where everything else is in black to spell his first name. And they're celebrating in style over on the right hand side. Lingard racing away, pulled back by Gunnarsson. Yellow card for the Icelander.
Yeah, Gunnarsson at the moment, he's just a fouling machine, to be honest with you. When he gets in contact with people, he just pulled the player back and accepted the foul.
So you Cardiff, what do you do? What you don't want is to end up getting yourself into a serious situation where you concede 5 or 6, right?
Yeah, I think all you've got to do is keep an eye on the good things that have happened so far. You're right, in this game, overall this season, they've done brilliantly to be outside the bottom 3. Today they're against a team that have got a little bit of an uplift and they can't deal with it.
Young takes the free kick. It's not a very good one. It's cleared away by the first line of the Cardiff defence. It was from the left side, and before it reached the penalty area, really, it just lacked the strength and depth to get anywhere near a red shirt, so it's cleared away. Then Jones gives away a foul on the edge of the Cardiff penalty area, and Camarasa tries to lead a charge forward. It's played through the legs of Arter, comes out towards this near side, and Cunningham guides it back to Bamba under real pressure, and then he finds Camarasa, who sends it on to his goalkeeper. 4-1 to Manchester United. I think when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got the phone call on Tuesday night, or whenever it was that he got the phone call. I think actually I'm told it was around about 10:30 on Tuesday morning, just after they'd sacked Jose Mourinho. He would have been surprised, one, to receive it, two, he'd be looking at the fixtures thinking, right, when can I get this team back to winning ways? They'd won just one of the previous 6 under Jose Mourinho. I don't think he would have dreamt of a better start than this.
No, it's played into his hands rather nicely. You know, Cardiff have been no real match for United today. I think United have played reasonably well. There's a slight uplift on their performance. I expected a better performance, a more resilient performance from Cardiff, and I haven't seen it today.
How much credit do you give him for getting them into this position?
Well, you can see the players have had an uplift in their mentality, which is always the first thing you look for, you know, with a new manager through the door. And listen, whichever way you look at it, to score 4 goals at this moment in time in an hour's football on the road against whoever is commendable.
77% possession of the ball, Manchester United, 11 goal attempts, 6 on target, 2 off target, 3 block shots, 11 free kicks, 5 corner kicks. They're dominating the stats map and the scoreboard. Here's Pogba out towards the left-hand side of Martial. He's on the edge of the area. He comes infield. He comes back to Shaw, who's shot from a 45-degree angle, takes a deflection off the retreating Hoylett and goes behind and away for a corner kick over on the far side. And we get our first substitution. And let's go down to Lawrence Mora, who's got the details.
Yeah, it's a substitution for Cardiff, and it's Kenneth Zohore who's going to come on. Harry Arter is making way. Zohore's been a little bit out of favour. He's suffered with a calf injury in recent weeks, but has been out of favour with Patterson taking that central striker position. But we'll see a little mixture with, I think Patterson will probably go back into midfield and Zohore up front.
24-year-old Dane has never scored a Premier League goal, but he's off the bench to try and get his first one against Manchester United. Here is the corner kick for Manchester United over on the far side. 61 gone, 4-1 they lead. It's with Young in towards the near post, away by Kulmanga, back in by Herrera, and well, he didn't catch that one like he caught the first effort, which we've seen a couple of times actually. And even when you look at it from the angle that we're at, it doesn't really look as if it took a deflection. And then when you get up close with one of those big spider cams, you can see it just clip off the shoulder of Cunningham, and that's so important to the way that the trajectory of the ball changes and takes it away from Neil Etheridge.
Just looking at United's fixtures coming up, I mean, to be honest with you, any sort of decent performance from them you would think would guarantee a progression in the FA Cup and probably maximum points for the next 3 games.
Huddersfield at home, Bournemouth at home, Newcastle away, Reading at home in the Cup, Spurs, Brighton and Burnley follow that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, as fixtures go, it's probably not a bad time for Ole Gunnar to come through the door, but that'll depend on how well his players play each time.
I'll be at Manchester United's game with Huddersfield on Boxing Day here on Talksport. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff. We'll be doing the phone-in from there as well. And then that game against Bournemouth at home, which is next Sunday, I think kicks off at 4:30. It's live on Talksport. Here's Lindelof down the right looking for Rashford, who's faced up with the goalkeeper. He shoots towards the far corner and it licks the paint of the post on the outside and goes behind and away for a goal kick. Well, Lingard thought that he may well get a corner there. It was a beautiful ball by Lindelof down the right side into the path of Rashford, and Rashford so close to making it 5.
Great play by Lindelof there, surged into the midfield area, and that's exactly what you want to see from the United strikers, running in behind. And it was definitely, goalkeeper's done well, spread himself and got a touch on it, but the referee's not picked that up.
Pogba wins a header in midfield. Patterson tries to hook it on. Again, that forward pass from Patterson isn't great, and it's cut out easily by David De Gea, just allows it to run through and puts his foot on top of the ball before rolling it back to Nemanja Matic. 19 minutes gone in the second half, 64 overall, and Manchester United bossing it in South Wales.
I think Cardiff will be very disappointed with their performance today so far. You know, they've been well off the pace at present.
Ball is loose on halfway. Eventually it's kicked out by Ander Herrera, and it goes out for a throw-in, which Sol Bamba leaves to Greg Cunningham. Mike Phelan wearing a bright red Manchester United hoodie is just trying to get some instructions on as Patterson plays a 1-2 on the edge of the box with Zohore, who takes it down the left-hand side, tries to squeeze it back towards Murphy, who tries to find the far corner, and David De Gea prevents him from doing so by diving away to his left and spooning the ball out for a corner. Good save.
Yeah, it certainly was. We were right behind that as it was pulled back to Murphy. He's opened up his body, used the United defender Lindelof to curl it round, and the goalkeeper's done well saving that through bodies.
It came through a clutch of red shirts, didn't it? It was an excellent effort from Josh Murphy. Here's the corner in towards Bamber, who heads it down. It's not a great header and it goes wide of the penalty area eventually. Shaw then gets it clear and Manchester United comes speeding away up to Martial from Young's pass. He's on halfway now into the centre circle, and Rashford into Martial. Rashford's continued his run through the centre of the pitch and they've gone wide out to the left, and Lingard back to Martial. He could switch it to Young, who's in space on this near side. They didn't see that run, and Manchester United take their time to come out towards this near touchline. 65 on the clock. Cardiff 1, Manchester United 4.
Yeah, playing with confidence now when they got the ball at their feet. United, little interchanges, 1-2s, give and goes. We're seeing a lot.
Pogba, Matic into Lingard. I think there was a foul by Junior Hoylett over on the far side, and that's a free kick to Manchester United, halfway inside Cardiff territory. Hoylett on Shaw.
Yeah, it's amazing. Not often you see in Premier League games that you get to the 60-minute mark and you think there's no way back in for any team at all, and it certainly has been the case today. Probably since the third goal, it's been sort of one-way traffic, really.
Martial trying to bundle his way past Camarasa, who nicks the ball off him right on the edge of the penalty area, and then away with the ball comes Greg Cunningham to be stopped by Marcus Rashford. Free kick to Cardiff City, down in the left full-back position, and Michael Oliver doesn't want Cunningham to take it from that zone, so he tells him to go back, and Manchester United have to get back into shape, which they do well. Here is Cunningham racing forward for Cardiff City into Camarasa. Gunnarsson. I was just looking at the Manchester United results so far this season. I think only twice before today in the whole season have they won by a margin of 3 goals. It was 4-1 against Fulham the 8th of December. That was their only win in the last 5 games under Jose Mourinho. And 3-0 against the young boys of Bern earlier in the campaign in the Champions League. But big wins have been few and far between for a while now for Manchester United. Comfortable wins have been few and far between.
Yeah, the performances have been so that they've certainly not earned that right in games gone by. I think the energy in the team hasn't been there, and it is today. They're moving the ball nicely, they're in a comfortable position, they've earned the right to knock the ball around and play for time now.
Lingard, Shaw, Pogba, across to Herrera. The header was won by the retreating Zohore, who did well for his team there, and then galloped forward into an advanced position as Cardiff tried to look for an outlet. Gunnarsson on halfway just tries to gesticulate to his other team members that there needs to be a bit more movement. He goes wide to Patterson, and it comes back infield to Victor Camarasa. Sol Bamba sweeps it to the left. Cunningham, a short ball infield to Camarasa again, who gets a lot of touches of the ball, Camarasa, doesn't he? But not enough higher up the pitch to link up with the striker.
No, but as I mentioned earlier, that the striker's got to hold the ball up for him to come onto the ball. You know, he's had to go back into deep lying positions to get touches of the ball.
Ikiomanga into the feet of Junior Hoylett. Pogba went from behind him, right through him. Might find himself getting a little talking to from Michael Oliver for that challenge.
Yeah, it was a poor challenge, not a dangerous one, but a lazy challenge.
I think he's escaped a yellow card, but he has given away a free kick in a dangerous area. It's on the right hand side as Cardiff look at it, and Morrison and Bamba, Patterson, they're all in there. Camarasa is standing over it. Zohore's in there as well, and it's arced in towards the centre of the penalty area. Patterson with a header over the top of the crossbar. just got underneath it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. You know, the two ways that Cardiff have been offered a lifeline is United giving them a lifeline. Firstly, the penalty where you've got no need to go with your hand, where Marcus was. And secondly, you know, a free kick on Hoylett when he's facing away from his own goal. That gives Cardiff the opportunity to pop one in the box.
Over in the far corner, the Manchester United fans are in fine voice. They're getting the Christmas party started. Whoever's driving the minibus tonight is going to have to put up with a lot of noise, I think. Here's Rashford onto Martial. On the edge of the Cardiff area again to Pogba, who unleashes a shot in the far corner. It's a great save by Etheridge, who pulls out a big left hand and fingers the ball over the top of the crossbar.
It certainly was. He set it out wide, but there was so much curl on it, it took it back towards the goalkeeper, but I thought the height of the ball might do the cat. But it's a great, as you say, fantastic fingertip stop.
Corner kick to Manchester United. There's 4 red shirts in the centre, and Pogba is outside the box, ready to come in and join the melee inside the middle of the 18-yard area. It's Young with the delivery in towards the near post. Pogba went towards it. Jones got a volley, and it's saved again by Etheridge.
Yeah, good smart stop by the goalkeeper there. Good volley, come through a block of players by Jones. Watched it all the way and gathered it in.
Well, Pogba occupied 4 defenders there, which allowed the ball to run behind him and scoot through to Jones, who hit it first time, and Etheridge was alert, and he made a good save. And he's made a couple, he's had to. Here is Zohore at the other end for Cardiff, who are on the attack here, across into the box, which is deep towards Patterson. He rises, thinks he should have won a corner. He's walking away as if he's going to take it. The referee and the linesman have already decided that's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, good play by Zohore there, working down the flank. Might have had a point, potentially a corner.
Well, Cardiff season's not going to stand and fall on results like this, but it is a crucial time for them when you look at their fixtures that are upcoming. Palace away. Palace have got a massive win today, by the way. Leicester away, a massive win today, by the way. Tottenham at home, Gillingham in the Cup, Huddersfield at home, and then Newcastle away.
Yeah, they come thick and fast when you're in and around it, but as you rightly say, today's fixture against United won't dictate their season. It'll be those head-to-heads against teams probably in the bottom 6 alongside them.
Well, one of those teams that we just mentioned, Crystal Palace, did get probably the result of the day. Well, definitely the result of the day. They went to Manchester City and won by 3-2, and the Andros Townsend goal is some finish. It really is an absolute corker. He hits it first time. It's fantastic how he keeps it under control. And that goal was part of an excellent performance by Roy Hodgson's team. They won by 3-2 away from home. You might want to talk about that if you're a Palace fan on your way back from the Etihad. Southampton won again. Danny Ings and Nathan Redmond scoring the goals in that 6-pointer against Huddersfield. They'll be on their way back to the South Coast tonight. 08717 2233 44. Ring Laura and Stuart Pearson, tell them about it. And Leicester, massive win for them. Best result of the season for them by a mile. They beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge by 1-0. All that and more coming up on the phone in a little bit later on. 08717 2233 44. Here is a substitution for Cardiff City, and Talksport's Lawrence Mora can give us the details.
Second sub of the evening for Cardiff, and it's going to be Junior Hoylett making way. Kadeem Harris coming on. Kadeem Harris scored the winner against Fulham. That was Cardiff's first Premier League win of the season. I don't know whether he's going to do it tonight, to be quite honest with you, but yeah, Kadeem Harris coming on.
Harris on and Hoylett off. That's the change for Neil Warnock. I don't think, as Lawrence was saying, it's going to make too much of a difference, but they do have a free kick here, which is swirled into the far post, and it's headed goalwards by Bamba, and he's missed the target narrowly wide. It was an arcing right footer towards the far post. It was bending underneath the goalkeeper, who didn't know whether to stick or twist. He was about 3 or 4 yards off his line and then decided to stay where he was. Bamba came in at the far post and he hit it wide.
I think it's only the tendency of Jones backing into him. At first, when I saw it, I thought he should have got it on target. I think Jones has done a good job for his team there, backing into him. Rose fantastically well at the far post.
Well, that was a good chance for Cardiff City, and it was good defending by Phil Jones. Hull 1, Swansea 1, by the way. Jared Bowen with a goal at the KCOM in the game which is live right now over on Talksport 2. Tomorrow on Talksport 2, Aston Villa against Leeds at 1:30. And then at 4 o'clock, Jim and Ray and Mark Saggers will be back for Everton against Tottenham Hotspur. Here is Gunnarsson in centre field for Cardiff City. 15 minutes to go. You're listening to Talk Sport. A few of the Cardiff fans have had enough, I think, and started to leave. There's a few empty seats now. I've seen one or two just getting ready, go to the exit. Here is Zahor down the left-hand side. They're not imagining a comeback here. Cunningham towards Zahor. A left-footed shot towards the near corner is blocked by Matic. It goes out of play. Might have been a goal kick, that, not a corner. Certainly there's disappointment on the face of Murphy, which would suggest that is the case. And it is away and out for a goal kick to Manchester United. Here are the latest odds from Betfair, Matchday Live's official betting partner on TalkSport. Cardiff 500 to 1 to go and win the game. The draw 400 to 1. Full terms and conditions are available at betfair.com. 18+, please gamble aware. And just whilst we were preparing for our game today, my learned colleague sitting next to me was suggesting that he believed, prior to a ball being kicked this afternoon, that Liverpool were the favourites for the title and should be treated as such. I said the odds makers don't think that's the case. We looked at that, and they, at the time, certainly did believe that Manchester City was still the favourites. And then what happened?
Well, surprisingly, and I would say surprisingly, even though, you know, Roy Hodgson's sides are always well organised, they've been beaten at home City, and all of a sudden question marks being asked. But you're up against a Liverpool side that have not lost a game all season in the league.
4 points clear at Christmas. Liverpool are Christmas number 1. An honour that they share with that geezer who sings about the sausage rolls. The ball is loose inside the Cardiff half of the field, and Rashford is chasing it, and Etheridge has come out to clear, but it's not a great clearance, and inadvertently gave it to Martial on halfway. Pogba forward, Rashford trying to get on the end of the ball. It's backpedaling Cunningham who gets his header in first, and it comes out towards the near side, and then it's cleared away down the left, and Zahor is chasing it. He nods it on, runs onto his own ball, shoots towards the near corner, and De Gea has to be alert enough to make a save and turn it round the post.
This is where the offside law really gets my goat up. The ball was played in behind for Rashford there. The linesman's waiting to put his flag up, doesn't put his flag up, but it affects the defender who's backing off and gets a header to it at full stretch. As luck happens, they cleared it and got in on goal at the other end. Otherwise, they're giving possession away.
Corner kick on this near side, which is whipped in towards the centre of the 6-yard box. Matic watched it and guides his header out for a throw-in down the left side, and it's away for a throw-in. Camarasa declines the chance to take it because Gunnarsson is trotting across. Another catapult throw from the big Icelander towards the near post it goes. Matic with the header, and he'll get another chance at it. How dangerous are those to deal with?
They're often tougher than corners because there's no pace on them. As it goes, Gunnarsson can throw out with a fair bit of pace. He's lost a little bit of distance at the moment because whoever heads it, chances are the ball stays in the penalty box as opposed to corners that are whipped in with more pace.
Manchester United are going to make a change in just a second, but here is another one of those throws, 3 in succession for Gunnarsson. This one towards the near post. Jones does well, manages to get a half header clear. Lingard miscontrols, but then does bring it down, and then he'll send it down the right touchline, looking for Rashford, who's bundling and trying to win the ball away. Oh, that's a bad challenge from Cunningham. Cunningham's going to get a yellow card. Rashford was away there, and when Rashford was motoring away, there was 2-on-1. Now anywhere further up the pitch, that probably would have been a sending off.
Yeah, we'll put it this way, if you're talking about a goal scoring opportunity, that was a goal scoring opportunity. There would have been,
has to be clear, 2
forwards on 1 defender. Listen, I've worked with some forwards, you put them clear on goal with no goalkeeper and it's not clear because they're that bad. Don't worry about that. If you're Manchester,
name names.
If you're Manchester United, you would be so disappointed if they don't get a shot at goal if they went through beyond that challenge. 2-on-1 defenders.
A change for Manchester United, Lawrence Mora.
Yeah, the first change of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's reign, and it's Fred who's coming on for Marcus Rashford. So the last bit of action for the man who got us underway with a goal early in the game.
The man who wasn't ready to start, according to Jose Mourinho. Fred, who's come into the centre of the park for Manchester United. So I imagine it means that Lingard will go out towards the left-hand side. And Herrera maybe in towards the right side a little bit more. It might be a little bit lopsided now. And Martial will go through the middle. We shall see. Here is Cunningham moving the ball down the left, looking for Murphy. Murphy's offside. 10 minutes to go before the end.
Yeah, it looks that way. It looks like Herrera has just come out to this right-hand side. Martial through the middle.
Well, Roy Keane was pretty vocal yesterday. He said that the players had got away with murder and chucked Mourinho under the bus. But that was just the way the modern player could be nowadays. They're not just weak players, he said, they're weak human beings. He doesn't usually pull any punches, does he, Roy? But does it now look like that even more with this performance today?
Well, there's been a level of sharpness about the team, you know. Bear in mind they should be coming here and should be winning United, to be honest with you. They've done that. Cardiff have not been great today. I'm sure Neil will agree with that. And listen, United's goals have come at a very good time. 2 minutes into the game, you're 1-up, and then just before half-time, when Cardiff get one back, you get the third. So, you know, they've been fortunate in that respect, but they've earned that.
And that Anthony Martial strike, that third goal that Manchester United scored, was the 500th goal scored in the Premier League this season in what was his 100th league game for Manchester United. And that, I think, was the clincher, wasn't it? That was the moment where the points started to travel back up the motorway network to Old Trafford. Pogba, whose performance has been important today. I wonder whether or not there'll be a few that want to talk about that during the full-time phone-in. 08717 2233 44. I'm certain that there'll be one or two who have views on it, but as a hack said to me at half-time, do you think those supporters over there care about that?
No, they'll be absolutely delighted with this today. It's been a while since they've gone home with that real feel-good factor, I think, from a while ago.
Murphy's just whipped the ball into the box and Patterson's headed it away from goal rather than two, despite the fact that Kadeem Harris was running in from the right side and was going to seemingly latch on the end of it. Murphy picks it up again halfway. Cardiff trying to come forward here. Young is backpedaling. Fred goes across, wins the ball off of Murphy, and then Young and Fred try and exchange passes. The ball eventually going out of play for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. It's good work by the Brazilian. Hull 2, Swansea 1. Tommy Elphick with the goal for Hull City. And they've come from behind to lead that game. Swansea City last weekend, I think, were behind in the game and ended up, well, scoring 2 goals in 90 seconds to win it. Another change for Cardiff City. And it's Lawrence Mora with the details.
Joe Rawls coming on for Cardiff, their final change of the evening, and it's Gunnarsson who's made way. Joe Rawls come through the youth system here and has really sort of made that midfield place his own in the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, the last time they were in the Premier League, Joe Rawls was at Yeovil on loan. Now very much part of the heart of the midfield at Cardiff City. I think he sort of started to lose his place once he was sent off at Tottenham Hotspur earlier in the season. Here is onto Herrera, back to Jones. Jones guiding it to De Gea. De Gea will look long to kick clear and then decides against that and gives it back to Jones because the pressure on him has been relieved, and Manchester United bring the ball through midfield. 9 minutes to go. You're listening to Talksport. I'm sorry, 7 minutes to go. You're listening to Talksport. And the Manchester United fans are still very much enjoying their trip down to Wales. The Cardiff City fans will start to think about what's upcoming for them. That game against Huddersfield here later on in the month of January is going to take on real significance. Lingard onto Martial. Martial trying to go forward. Morrison, and Rawls stops the man from France in his tracks, and out comes Etheridge and manages to shank it upfield, but Young takes it off Kadeem Harris. A little back heel into Fred. A clap from Fred as he plays it on to Herrera. They've played with real confidence in this game, Manchester United, and their tempo has been so much better than what we've seen before. I wonder if that's because of the freedom that the manager has allowed them to play with. He said, I want you to see expression. I want you to go out and show what you're capable of. I want you to be like the kids who fell in love with playing the game. Fred moving into centre field, steers it wide to the left. Pogba takes it on, 2 running towards the near post. Wasn't a great ball by Pogba, cut out by Ekiel-Manga, and he clears it out towards the near side, and Young will pick it up again. Can you do just that? Can that freedom just give you that extra bit of ability, energy, freedom to express yourself? You're not thinking as much. Is that what changes the game?
No, I think it's 4 goals in the bag. That's helpful. Everyone wants the ball now. I think it's a feel-good factor of a new manager coming in. Maybe a breath of fresh air in that respect, which we see time and time again. And the fact, I don't think we can lose track of the fact they're playing Cardiff today, and Cardiff have not played well today, I don't think.
Certainly it's the kind of start that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would have wanted, but it is just one step along the road to redemption for Manchester United and their group. Here is Kadeem Harris down the left-hand side, getting into a wing position, producing a cross. Murphy coming at the far post, collides with Shaw, and Pogba runs it clear out over to the far touchline. 5 minutes to go. 2 changes about to happen for the visitors, Manchester United. Young gets the ball down the left to Martial, then Martial to Lingard, back to Martial, and he can't pick it out of his feet. The ball wasn't great from Lingard, and Morrison will clear. He's out for a throw-in over on the far side, and the changes are going to take place. Here is Talksport's Lawrence Mora.
Yeah, the first change is Pereira coming on, and Anthony Martial's making way. Also limbering up on the sidelines is Marouane Fellaini, just doing a few jumps, and he'll be coming on for Nemanja Matic in the middle of the Manchester United midfield.
Well, Andres Pereira started the game against Valencia on match day 6 of the Champions League. He's also had quite a good 6 months internationally, where he's made his debut for Brazil. He was on loan at Valencia last season, and he did score once actually against Betis away. Scored a fabulous free kick in pre-season against Liverpool in the ICC, but it's only his 7th appearance of the season. I think 1 or 2 believe that he may well have a role to play under the new manager. Good day for Anthony Martial. Gets a big hug from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. A real thank you to the Frenchman, who also embraces Kieran McKenna and a couple of teammates on the bench. And remember, there's no Lukaku today because he's away on compassionate leave, and he's going to probably miss the game on Boxing Day at least as well, if not their commentary game we've got upcoming for you next Sunday when Bournemouth go to Old Trafford.
He's probably the one that's thinking, you know, that's missed out today with the feel-good factor and whatever. It was probably a goal in the game for him here today.
Hull 3, Swansea 1 on Talksport. Here is Zohore trying to get in behind Lindelof, who watches it all the way and nudges it out and away for a corner kick. We're into the 88th minute of the game.
The way the fixtures pan out over Christmas, you've got this as a home game, and then if you get beat here like Cardiff are, then they're on the road twice afterwards. Just heaps that little bit of pressure on.
Crucial period. This sorts the men out from the boys, doesn't it, in terms of the relegation zone?
Yeah.
Palace away, Leicester away, Tottenham at home. Doesn't look great. Here's the ball towards the far post from the corner kick. Now De Gea's come and grabbed that under quite significant pressure, and then he's bowled it out into midfield, and Herrera is accelerating to halfway. Andreas Pereira takes over, moves towards the edge of the box. He's got support arriving. He gets it infield onto his right foot. Shaw comes across. Fred with a little back heel. Back to Fred again to Herrera, and Fred still trying to do bits. He clips the ball out towards the near side. Young brings it down on his thigh, waits, then sends it central to Marouane Fellaini. 90 seconds to go of normal time in Cardiff, and it is Manchester United who lead by 4-1. Pereira, Fred, Herrera again, into Pogba, trying to hold off Sean Morrison, back into Fred. He looks up, plays it forward into Lingard. And Pereira is dispossessed by Sol Bamba, big, huge Sol Bamba, who runs into a bit of a cul-de-sac. Manchester United rob it, turn it over high up the field, and he's out of position. It comes through to Lingard, who takes it round the goalkeeper. He'll finish it here. He does finish it here. Jesse Lingard hits the 5th goal of Manchester United's trip to South Wales, and Super Sub Solskjaer has come in from the cold to help bring a bit of joy to Manchester United again. Jesse Lingard has scored twice. Manchester United have hit 5. It is Cardiff 1, Manchester United 5.
Yeah, Cardiff were their own instigators of their downfall. Once again, Bamba won the ball well and then give it straight back to the opposition, but he was out of position at the time when he's done that. And the ball from Pogba and the run were fantastic. Great through ball. Lingard's run just timed to perfection, took it round the goalkeeper with one touch, slotted it with a second.
Well, Jesse Lingard has doubled his tally for the season for Manchester United here in the Welsh capital. 2 goals and an assist from Jesse Lingard. I think he's reacted to the new boss. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer crouches his whole body into a ball and screams with delight as he clenches his fists. Paul Pogba with a strong fist pump towards the Manchester United fans. And, well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer isn't the only one who's smiling now.
No, there's a few thousand fans to our right-hand side that are singing, smiling, clapping. They're having a good Christmas now.
Oh, United, we love you. There's Norwegian flags being flown in the Manchester United end. There's some Ole Gunnar Solskjaer banners that are still up above the heads of the travelling support. And Manchester United have cruised past Cardiff and scored 5 goals for the first time this season. It's their biggest win of the campaign. And it comes in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first game in charge. Not many new Manchester United managers win their first game. He's only the 3rd post-war to do that. And the other 2 were David Moyes and Jose Mourinho. Fergie didn't do it, nor did Matt Busby.
It's been very, very comfortable for United this afternoon. And how you decode that, Solskjaer won't mind. He'll just look at the result, look at all the bright things that have happened, and say we'll take this every day.
It's the first time they've won by 4 goals in the Premier League since the 30th of September 2017, and that was at home against Crystal Palace. 5 goals for the first time this season. I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can barely believe it. He's just looking around having a conversation. He's got like a cheeky smile on his face. Here is Kadeem Harris. Down the left he goes. Moves towards the edge of the area. Tries to get a cross in. Shanks it behind. And it goes out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. I think in that, I didn't see how many minutes of added time. Lawrence Mora's on the touchline.
Yeah, there's 3 minutes of added time here, and it's been really noticeable how close all the bench are. They've been celebrating together. Carrick and Mike Phelan and Solskjaer in conversation all the time, and hugs and high fives all game.
One thing he said was that he needed to bring the club back together again, heal some of the rifts, make sure everyone was united, and they certainly seem to be. He went to the staff dinner momentarily this week as well, just to give the troops behind the scenes a bit of good feeling, and that went down very well. And this has gone down well as well. There's the full-time whistle. He is their Solskjaer, their Ole Solskjaer. He makes them happy even when skies are grey. Mourinho's gone, the pitch is clearer, and they have blown the Bluebirds away. It's finished. Cardiff 1, Manchester United 5.
Well, the Ole era has well and truly begun. Manchester United played free-flowing football. Their first 5 goals this season. The players are playing with confidence. The travelling fans are given a performance to be proud of. They move up to 6th in the table. It's a start, and it's a very good start. If you were here, you could see the fans to the right of us. These are the travelling fans and Manchester United faithful. They haven't left their seats. There's not one spare. And when you look around the rest of the stadium, the Cardiff fans, they probably started leaving 10-15 minutes ago. There's a few of them still clapping along, still singing to Neil Warnock. But ultimately, the stadium is absolutely drowned out by songs of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's walking to the middle of the pitch at the moment, his hands on his mouth. He's just taking it all in. I don't think he can quite believe it. And now a couple of the players are walking up to him to give him a little bit of a cuddle. I mean, it's really nice. I mean, from my perspective, Stuart, just sitting here and watching this, it's quite emotional, isn't it, what's happening at the moment? This is Ollie's first game in charge. I don't think he came in and expected he would win by 5-1.
Yeah, I think you've got to look at the esteem that he's held at. He's one of the United heroes as a player. You know, the fans of the terraces respect him for everything he's done as a player. And then from there, you know, this as an opening day as a manager back at the club is a fantastic opening day for him.
Paul Pogba has just walked over to the travelling fans. He's taken his shirt off and he's stepped over the sponsorship boards and he's walked into the crowd and given his shirt away. He's now walked back onto the pitch and he's clapping them. I mean, for him, this must feel in some way like a rebirth.
Well, more's to the point, let's hope it is for the manager, because this football club have spent a lot of money on bringing Paul Pogba back to Manchester United, and he's got to have more days like we've seen today. You know, he's played well today, his passing's been good, it's been accurate. The thing that's caught my eye, and probably would have, you know, someone from a footballing point of view, his reaction to losing the ball has been so much better today than it has been even a couple of weeks ago at Southampton.
We saw it, Stuart.
It was like turning a switch off at times. He would stop dead. Today, he was back, recovering into position, and United have to do that and he does on a more regular basis.
Paul Pogba's now walking back to the touchlines. It's almost like a statement. He's celebrating with everybody, the coaching staff. He's got that massive smile plastered across his face once again. It's the same smile that he had when he walked off the coach and arrived here today. He's playing with freedom now. It is very different, Stuart. It is.
Yeah, listen, it's a little catchphrase maybe, the word freedom and whatever. Listen, let's wait until we get in the full swing of things. Whichever way you look at it, United are still markedly off where they should be as a football club, a worldwide institution in regard to the Premier League. Fantastic start. The team played a lot better with a lot more intensity, individually and collectively. It'll do the club and give the club a massive lift, and they have to build on that. They've got 2, 3, 4 a clutch of games where they certainly can do that.
I mean, in the last minute, as we've been speaking, the stadium started to empty out. The Manchester United fans aren't going anywhere. They're going to soak up every last minute of this. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer taking charge today. Neil Warnock described it almost as a free hit, what he's doing. He's such a legend at the club. He can do no wrong. He's only here for a little while, potentially, as a caretaker manager. He almost described it in a way that, you know, Ole's not really got a lot of pressure, but this is one of the biggest clubs in the world. He must be feeling pressure.
He'll have internal pressure. That is the pressure that all the high flyers and all the high achievers does have. I mean, he is one of those in regard to what he's done on a football pitch as a player. And, you know, I've sat in many a classroom with him. He is a student of football. He wants to learn, he wants to get better and give himself the best opportunity. And as Neil said, it is a wonderful opportunity for him at a club that he knows really well. And the fans over there will give him every opportunity to be successful.
Absolutely. We're going to get a little bit more reaction. We're not going anywhere for the moment. You can hear the Manchester United fans are still singing to the right of us in the stadium here. It's full time in the Championship. Hull 3, Swansea 2. Let's sort out our delivery of the day now with Just Eat.
Delivery of the day on Talksport with Just Eat. Score yourself a stunning takeaway delivered straight to your door.
OK, Stuart Pearce, there was so much more action that happened today. So we want your best team performance for this section.
Well, let me think. It's got to be Crystal Palace. Now, to go up to Manchester City, the all-conquering Manchester City. Weeks ago, there was talk about can they go the whole season undefeated. Crystal Palace have gone up there, got a contender for goal of the season and won on the road away from home. For me, that's got to be it.
Before today, Pep Guardiola had only lost 2 league games at the Etihad since he'd been in charge. That is the 3rd in total. Quite amazing. Anyway, that was our delivery of the day with Just Eat, the app for all your takeaway needs.
Delivery of the day on Talksport with Just Eat. Because a feast of football requires a feast of a takeaway.
All right, well, the Premier League was turned on its head today, and the full-time phone-in is following straight after this show finishes with me, Laura Woods, and Stuart Pearce. Manchester City lost, Manchester United won, and Liverpool remain 4 points clear at the top. So no doubt watching on and smiling from the comfort of their own homes, the players there. If you're driving home for Christmas, pick up the phone and give us a call, 08717 22 3344. But for now, Ole might be feeling as if his life is a little bit of a Hollywood script today. He took control of the club where he remains a legend and his name is still sung in the stands, and those familiar chants filled out the Cardiff City Stadium today. His time here lasted just 9 months and included a relegation, but today he leaves Wales with new memories, a 5-1 win in his first game in charge of Manchester United, and you heard it all here on Talksport.
Pogba and Rashford standing over this free kick. It's just a shade left of centre. Pogba back in the team, runs over the ball, leaves it for Rashford, through the wall it goes and into the net, and 2 minutes and 59 seconds into Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's reign, a young Manchester United striker has scored already. Marcus Rashford gets the Norwegians' tenure off to a flyer. Herrera, a bit of space for him, gets onto his right foot, shoots towards the far corner. Oh, what a fantastic goal from under Herrera. Well, the handbrake's been released, and Manchester United have found they do have another gear after all, and they're hitting new heights here. It's Cardiff City 0, Manchester United 2. Under Herrera with a goal. Into the box, it's high towards Morrison. They double up on him and they manage to bring the ball away. Oh, has it hit the hand of Rashford? And the penalty's been given. Oh, Camarasa is going to take it. And David De Gea is bouncing up and down on the line. He steps up, right-footed, and sends it high above David De Gea and into the net. And Victor Camarasa gets his 2nd goal of the season. It's a good penalty, and it keeps Cardiff alive in the game. This is Pogba, plays a 1-2. Martial gets it back from Lingard. Oh, what a finish! What a goal! What a response from Manchester United, who have scored 3 goals in the first half at Cardiff. What a fantastic movement! It was excellent. Martial picked that up on halfway. He slalomed down the right, exchanged passes with Pogba and Lingard in the box, and then finished it beautifully into the far corner. Jesse Lingard is not the regular penalty taker. He scored the first goal of Mourinho's reign, and he scored in the first game of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's reign as well. It's an excellent penalty from Jesse Lingard, who runs up to the ball and hits it right-footed into the corner of the net. Comes to the Lingard, who takes it round the goalkeeper. He'll finish it here. He does finish it here. Jesse Lingard hits the 5th goal of Manchester United's trip to South Wales, and Super Sub Solskjaer has come in from the cold to help bring a bit of joy to Manchester United again. Jesse Lingard has scored twice. Manchester United have hit 5. It is Cardiff 1, Manchester United 5.